What's up guys, Ninja Eagle here bringing you another Fire Emblem Three Houses video, and today I'm going to be explaining how to recruit students without having to use using skills. So for example, if I wanted to recruit Ingrid here, I would have to increase my flying skill in order to get her to join my house. However, that's not the only way you can recruit students in this game, as there's also another method, and that's what I'm about to show today. So you can get them to join your class by raising their support, and the question is then, how do you raise their support? Well, there's a lot of methods to do this. You just want to get the student to like you. So for example, you can do this by looking at the menu and feeding them their favorite food. This method isn't that effective because you can only do it once a day, so it's not like you're going to have an unlimited supply of this because you can only feed one student per day. However, I will be going over other methods so that you can get their support up and so that you can get that student to like you. So that's just the first method. And the next method would be flowers. And how do you get flowers? Well, you get them right here in the greenhouse. So what you want to do is you want to be planting flowers. So for example, I only have right now 2 white flower seeds. So what you want to do is you want to plant seeds here, and then once the day finishes and you start another day, you'll eventually be able to come back to harvest them. And you want to stock up on these so that eventually you have enough so that you can just keep giving it to them, so that you'll be raising that support with each time you give them one.
No.
So another method, which is just like the cafeteria, is that you can go here to the choir. This method is like the cafeteria because it does help support the students that you're going for, but also it's only once a day, so it's just as ineffective as the cafeteria because if you go here, you're only able to do it once, but it's still something and it's better than nothing. So if you're trying to go for your character as fast as you can, this will definitely help. And as you can see, if you do it, it'll say the bonds among the 3 of you grew significantly stronger. And of course, this is going to help then recruit your students so that you can get their support up and hopefully recruit them as fast as possible. So as you can see, since I'm focusing on Ingrid right now, she's already gotten to a C support just from doing those 2 things alone. So this is why I like this method, because we just need to aim for B, and you'll be able to get their supports up really fast if you just focus on that character, which will help you get a lot of more characters done instead of wasting all that time trying to get every little skill up for Byleth. This helps especially too if you're barely in the beginning of the game. I've already started a new save file, so I have much higher professor levels. But when you're actually first starting off, you don't have as many professor levels, so this will definitely help so that you're not just focusing on one character and you can get much more done since you have much more opportunities to do certain events. And of course, you can always give gifts to as many students as you want as long as you have the resources available for that. So this is why this method really works if you're looking to recruit a lot of students from another house. And of course, the gifts also do not have to be flowers in this game. There's certain things that many characters will prefer over other things, especially if you get to know them. Like for example, some characters like painting, so they probably prefer gifts having to do with things like that. I don't really know what Ingrid likes, but most of the time they'll take any gift that you give them and that'll help raise their support level. So as you can see, I'll just give her everything that I have right now. I don't have any flowers yet since I'm still early in the game, but even just doing this will help raise the support up so that you can eventually get her recruited and onto your team. So yeah, I think you can see the pattern by now, which is basically anything that you can do around the monastery is going to help you get closer to that student that you're focusing on, so that hopefully then they'll join your house. So whether it's cooking, whether it's choir, whether it's the food, or gifts, and of course later on when you're able to have tea with them, anything you can do to raise that support will help. And that's why I really like this method, because there's so many things that you can do which will get you to those students closer and will be a lot faster than if you were raising your skills individually for each student. So I find this to be a really effective method, especially if you replay the game, because you'll have a higher professor level so you can do more things and of course get more students that way. And maybe I've gone a little bit too long here on the explanation, but I just wanted to make sure that you can see this whole thing through so that it can be as helpful as possible. So now we are just 3 Sundays in, so this is just 3 weeks of being at the monastery after starting this method. And even without that many flowers or that many gifts to give to Ingrid, we already were able to get her to B just by doing all those activities with her. And this just shows how quick this method can be, and they'll be really helpful. So now the question then is, what now that you've reached a B rank? Well, this is where it's different compared to normal recruitment. So now that you have your B rank, you probably pushed ahead and try to recruit the character that you actually wanted to recruit. However, you were probably disappointed when you did this because they still denied you, and now you're probably thinking that this whole video is wrong because they didn't accept your recruit offer, and now this whole video is wrong because you've got your character to B and nothing happened. But it's just because that's not the way it works when you do this method. So if you're doing this method, it's going to work a different way. So you have your B student now, then what do you do next? Well, what you're going to want to do is you want to end the week, and this is where you can get the chance to recruit him then once you end the week. Because as you're going along here and skipping through the week, there's a small chance that the character will come and ask to join your house. So let's see if we get it here. Just skip through all this, and it's a small chance, so if you don't get it, then the good thing is that you can always reset your game and try again. So you don't have to waste time just going through weeks and wasting weeks waiting to get that character. So it looks like we didn't get her this week, so what we're going to want to do is reset and try again. So we reset here, and then we'll go back in and try and see if it works this time.
I'm getting closer.
Not a total waste. Let's put this to the test.
Professor!
So as you can see, after resetting a few times, I probably reset about 5 times since it's a small chance. But you just have to keep doing it, and as you can see now, I finally did get the notification that Ingrid wants to join my class. So you just click yes, of course,
timing,
and then you get some dialogue.
There's actually something I want to speak with you about. Will you put me in your class too? There are so many things I want to learn from you. Being in another class makes it especially challenging. Thank you, Professor. I look forward to studying under you. I will be extra diligent with my studies. Thank you for this opportunity.
And that is how you get your character with this method, and it only took 3 weeks. And of course, we were still able to work on other characters during those 3 weeks, so then we can now focus on new characters moving forward. And that's why this method is so great, because you can focus on so many characters and it's fast and it'll work, especially if you're on a new game where you have a higher professor level. It'll go by really fast. So that's gonna do it for this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.